that little competition. But a great strike from Doug, and we'll come to that now, watching the best of Arsenal against Manchester United from yesterday, a game which is, of course, hugely significant at the top of the table, and Arsenal dropping points for the third successive game, and Michael Carrick in his second game in charge, following up the victory over Manchester City with another prize scalp. But it didn't start the best for them.
No, it didn't, but I think they showed real courage with and without the ball, Manchester United, and we saw that last week as well on this show. We highlighted that. But we just want to get into sort of the first two goals of the game. They've got a lot of similarities, really. And what you've got is, as a lot of teams do, but this back three with Zubimendi, a central midfield player, dropping in between the two centre-backs. It splits the centre-backs, which means Arsenal have a lot of rotation in terms of the players. So you have Zubimendi in that position, and then we see the positions of the fullback. So as soon as your back three splits like that, your fullbacks can either go really wide like wing-backs, or they get in the pockets. Hincapié and Timber. We see this a lot with Arsenal. But I just want to have a look at sort of Manchester United and how they sort of dealt with this as well. So as this ball comes across, and this is what I'm talking about with courage. So when Manchester United were in this deep block, you've got players, as I said, between the lines. He now makes us move out wide. Bryan Mbeumo there goes to press. OK, he jumps there. He doesn't stay with him. The idea is to go and press and be aggressive there. But, obviously, Hincapié in that position is now looking to play the ball into the box. And who is in the centre-forward position? The full-back. We've highlighted this a lot with Arsenal and with the full-backs and the rotations. So that is a positive for Arsenal. But you can see the intention for Manchester United was to be brave and try and press and jump to centre-backs rather than staying just with full-backs. But you see Timber in there, he's up against Martinez, he gets an own goal just because of the actual size and power of Timber. Martinez can't move him. But we're now going to look at a situation where Arsenal are building up here with a back three. And this time Timber's in the back three. We see a little rotation differently with Zubimendi. Can't get on the ball, so he now wants to get into the back three. And again, just a little bit of a rotation, a little bit of movement from players. But I think they let themselves down at times, Arsenal, and this is one of those occasions where we say that they're at times risk-averse. Now, for me, Zubimendi is a quality player, plays for Spain, technically one of the best midfield players in Europe. He should be able to play that ball there for Declan Rice between two Manchester United players, 15 yards. But again, they don't take that option. That happens a lot further up the pitch, actually, with Odegaard between the lines. I sometimes think he takes the safe option also. So that ball can be played in there. It now goes back to Saliba. But Bryan Mbeumo could easily stay there and make sure Gabriel doesn't venture up there with the ball. But again, they show courage without the ball, and they try and press there and stop that ball getting out. But now, because Declan Rice has made that run, Saliba's got no pass into midfield. He's made the mistake, but because Mbeumo's there and he showed the initial courage, he picks the ball up. If he was wider with Gabriel, he wouldn't be in that position initially. So credit to Michael Carrick and Manchester United. And now we go to 1-1. Manchester United go and get the second goal. So we're talking about now courage with the ball. So as I said, they've pushed Arsenal back. Casemiro drops in between the centre-backs, as I said, with Zubimendi. We see that happen a lot. But the theme that we mentioned around Arsenal's full-backs in the first clip. So what you've got now is a situation where Dorgu comes in off the line. Brilliant play with Fernandes, absolutely fantastic in a tight area. It's not handball. He gets a chance to shoot. But as we mentioned with Arsenal's full-backs, the courage with the ball, sure, and Dalot high up the pitch, 25 yards from goal. But also, it's not just them. There's now 6 players so close to the Arsenal goal. They're away from home against a team who are better than them, and it's 1-1 in the second half. That shows courage with the ball. So we've seen it off the ball, and we've seen it with the ball. And as we've seen some wonderful strikes a few minutes ago, that's right up there with the best of them.
What was key to that one, Jimmy, for Dorgu?
Well, he's positive. I think Bright, short link-up. And then I think he doesn't think, he just do it. Just hits it. And he hits it so well that the goalkeeper has got no chance whatsoever. And Raya has been one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League.
We had a conversation in the studio after the game about bravery, and you've mentioned that from Manchester United's perspective and whether Patrick Vieira was suggesting Arsenal could have been braver. But at 2-1 down, Mikel Arteta made a 4-man substitution, the quadruple change. Do you think that was a brave thing to do in that circumstance?
For me, I felt like they panicked, 58 minutes, 4 substitutions, for me, too much. You know, yes, if you want to change things, get Odegaard off. You're now taking Subimendi off. Yes, Subimendi has made the mistake, but he's a big player. He's an important player.
I suppose the one thing you do is get more height on the pitch, which might lead to this situation, which Marino benefits from.
Yeah, but I would have liked them to see to control the game with the ball. I would have liked them to be calmer because it was still 32 minutes to go, and they have scored a magnificent goal. That can happen, Man United. That can happen. It wasn't like they played him really off the park and it was a 1v1 with the goalkeeper. It was a great strike. That can happen. They could come back into the game, calm the game down, control the game with two changes. Now, Declan Rice had to play as a pivot, what is not his best position. You want to keep him high up. I think it was too much for me, you know?
Do you know, it was a real surprise. It felt a big surprise in the stadium yesterday, Jamie, having got level, that suddenly they would go and concede 2 minutes, 58 seconds later with a team that are so big on control, with a coach who's so big on control. So what happened?
But I'm talking about courage again. Bringing Sesko on. I think he comes on for Dorgu. If Dorgu's a wide player, you bring a centre-forward on. Them centre-backs win everything. He keeps it alive. So that was courage from the manager, bringing Sesko on, again, away at Arsenal. But when I talk about quality and courage as well, I'm going to look at actually 3 Manchester United players here up against, what are they, 6. That's a training session. The 6 players will never let the 3 players get out of there unless you're talking about real quality and almost genius to get out of there. Yeah. You put that session on as a coach, Jimmy, you'll know that as a coach, you're not getting out of there. But Manchester United do. And who's involved in it? Bruno Fernandes has been at the heart of everything since Carrick came in. And he has been with every United manager, but certainly in this number 10 position now. So you're running on here, and the football, as we saw with the Dorgu goal, is absolutely fantastic. Mainu, brilliant. And then Jimmy, take over. That's a Jimmy Hasselbank goal.
Look, he does everything so well. Turn, when you are going in the half turn and you're now running, you know, you just know the feeling is there. You just have to hit it with the inside of your foot as hard as possible. Hopefully it hits the park a little even harder, and the goalkeeper has got no chance, and that's what it